Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. I want to bring you a quick video forecast update here on what's going on this weekend. We've got a wet weekend on the way here, unfortunately. First part of Saturday looking pretty decent, but showers will move in later this afternoon. So if you got some plans here, well, here's some forecast for your timing now. Right now, we've got some rain off to our west here in Missouri. That'll quickly move our way this afternoon. The sunshiny skies that we've got out there today, that'll be replaced by pretty cloudy skies this afternoon. In fact, you'll see as I continue to put the radar into motion, by the time you get here to about 2 o'clock, you got the precipitation shield moving here in towards Illinois, just inching its way ever so closely. And then by the time you get about 4 o'clock Eastern time here in the afternoon, and then here's 5, you got that moving into our area. Now notice it doesn't look overly heavy. It's just shower activity today, I think, rather than thunderstorms. Not going to be a torrential downpour. Of course, it's not a guarantee that this is going to look exactly this way either, but it's the idea that some showers will be moving in later this afternoon. So if you have some firework plans tonight, well, unfortunately, it looks like we've got some rain to contend with. Now, don't think it's necessarily going to be one of these things where we have rain every single minute of every single day all of this holiday weekend, but we're going to be facing more rain chances than we are not, unfortunately, the way things look. Let me show you how this shakes out here on the high resolution NAM to give you sort of an idea of what to expect. Put this into motion. Here we are this afternoon, and there's that precipitation shield overtaking us. Here's what it thinks for 5 o'clock tonight. A good chunk of Indiana starting to get wet. And really, it's again, it's just shower activity. It's just mostly the greens. You'd have the thunderstorm activity out here where you've got these heavier showers and thunderstorms. Now, the NAM then dries us out a little bit during the overnight hours, but as we move into Sunday morning, we start to get very wet around the area again, and a pretty big deluge of rain for everybody around there. The NAM actually wants to dry us out some on Sunday afternoon. There are some other modeling that says no, that's not going to happen. So that's really something that we're just going to have to see and wait at this point whether we do or not. But notice, even when it dries us out very quickly that evening, we've got more stuff that develops and some thunderstorms there to go with it, and more rain continues then for Monday before we start to dry out possibly there Monday afternoon. Maybe Monday night we might be able to get some fireworks in. If that's the case, we'll just have to see. At this point, as I said, I don't think it's going to be one of these situations where every hour we're going to see rain in your particular area, but I think we're going to see more times with rain than we are not. So it's just going to be having to work in some of those outdoor plans between dodging those raindrops. Now, along with that, because of this, we've got a slight risk for flooding around the area and moderate risk up to our north. This is a day 2 excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. It's part of the National Weather Service. Basically, this is a slight risk because that's 5 to 10% risk of any point within here exceeding the flash flood guidance. In other words, for most of us here in southern Indiana, that's 3 inches in 3 hours, I believe, if I remember correctly. So there is a slight risk for flooding out there. Keep that in mind. We also have some severe chances coming up for Sunday as well. There's a slight risk in the southwest corner of the state here for some severe weather on Sunday, and then on Monday that moves off to our east there, primarily into Kentucky. Again, damaging winds and some hail would be pretty much the primary threats with these two outlooks. But again, it just sort of depends. Do we have a heavy precipitation shield all day? If we end up getting the high-res NAMS idea, and we end up getting some hours of break in here where the sun might be able to peek through and we get the atmosphere to recover, that's whenever you could see some of those individual cells start to pop up and could give us a severe chance for later in the afternoon on Sunday. But on the other hand, if some of the other modeling is right and it's just a deluge of precipitation all day long, well, then there's no chance of severe weather, really. It goes down to about minimum. So right now, we're just going to have to wait and see what radar looks like. This is what we do know. Rain is coming, and we're not going to avoid it. It's just a matter of how often are we going to get it. I would bank on more often having rain than not, unfortunately, at this point. Precipitation totals still look pretty solid on the decent side. Here's what the NAM thinks. The NAM thinks a good solid 2.6 inches there. You notice in the Evansville area here, around 3 inches or so here over towards Louisville. But you got some pockets of heavier amounts here in this kind of orangey color of 4 inches plus around the area. So pretty significant. And this is rain through Tuesday morning. The GFS showing something very similar. Again, a solid 2 to 3 inches over across the area. The Canadian model a little bit lighter on this, but it is the outlier at this point. Again, I think we're going to be measuring rainfall this weekend in inches rather than we are tenths of an inch. Unfortunately, it's going to be wet. You can go to southernindianaweather.com, get your updated 10-day forecast, folks. Again, some showers moving in primarily this evening, and then pretty much 100% chance of rain on Sunday and Monday. Pretty confident that it will rain, just a question of how long. And then, unfortunately, we've got some daily chances of rain from there on out after that. All right, folks, that's it for this quick update. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Keep it here, southernindianaweather.com and Southern Indiana Weather on Facebook, at SouthernINWX on Twitter for more updates throughout the weekend. Happy 4th of July, folks. Stay safe.